Hi, my name is Joshua Leeson. I'm a seminarian with the Diocese of Stockton, and just here to talk to you about Exodus 90. So Exodus 90, for those who don't know, is a spiritual program for men to go the length of 90 days. And this program is geared to go from slavery to freedom. Because in our daily lives, we don't realize how often we can become attached to material things, and for things to be elevated, good things to be elevated to become our ultimate thing. And whenever that ultimate thing is anything other than God, it is an idol, and we become slaves to those things. So Exodus 90 is a way to try to become free of those. So this is a journey I've been honored to do twice. So it's a period of 90 days. It is not easy, first and foremost, but it is also a beautiful experience that helped me grow in my faith journey. It has three pillars in this program. It's prayer, asceticism, and fraternity. So these three pillars are absolutely fundamental to the program, as well as just our spiritual journey, even particularly as men. So for prayer, we are asked to make a daily holy hour, or at minimum daily 20 minutes, just in prayer, dedicated, set time in your schedule for prayer. The second one is for prayer is to read the Exodus 90 gives you a set of readings from the book of Exodus, because you go through the book of Exodus through these 90 days, from where the Israelites were in Egypt and slavery, and they were brought towards the promised land through the book of Exodus, and how he leads from the slavery to freedom in that whole process. You kind of able to go along with it, go along the book, as well as hear reflections on each of those as well. The second category, asceticism. There's a long list of things here. I'll quickly just list them off, but not easy. I think all of the guys in our group at some point or another failed in one of these two things, or didn't do it to perfection. But it's really was good to have all of these, because it basically it makes it very clear where your areas of difficulty are, or where the areas that you're more inclined to be a slave to. So in the aspect of asceticism, take short, cold showers, practice regular, intense exercise, get a full night's sleep, at least 7 hours is recommended, abstain from alcohol, abstain from desserts or sweets, abstain from eating between meals, abstain from soda or sweet drinks, abstain from television, movies, or televised sports, abstain from video games, abstain from non-essential material purchases, only listen to music that lifts the soul up to God, only use the computer for work, school, and essential tasks like paying bills, etc., or homework, only use mobile devices for essential communications, cut out non-essential texting, app, and internet use, etc. And also take Wednesdays and Fridays as days of fasting. So abstain from meat and have one full meal and 2 small meals that don't add up to the one full meal. So that's the asceticism part. A lot on there, completely understood. But this is also not a journey that is to be done alone. It's supposed to be done in fraternity, which is the last pillar. To have a brother and have a group of brothers together in order to lift you up and to push each other. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. So fraternity, there's weekly meetings where you kind of talk about kind of what's going on in that week, what were the challenges, what was the difficulties for you, how is this program benefiting you, or how is you're really struggling with it. And also you're paired up with one particular brother who's called your anchor. And this person, basically you check on each other daily. How's things going? What do you need prayers for, etc. So that's a really important way to go, because we're not meant to do things alone. Man was not meant to be alone. So having these brothers around you, I know for me it was very, very important. It was, and even in our group that I had, we had men of all ages. We had some older married men, and we had younger men like me. I was still in college. So to have these people at different experiences of their life, really able to kind of have different perspectives, and to help you can all benefit from those different perspectives. So very important. So usually this program goes from sometime in January and all the way through Lent to Easter Sunday, or I guess the 90 days would go to Holy Saturday, day before Easter, and completed on Easter Sunday. But so the goal is to kind of, that's a typical way. You could do it in preparation for Christmas, etc. Anything just 90 days before. But it's we are so much of a slave in a lot of different ways. And to be free from all those things, to really kind of see what we're made of. Because as men, we really desire to see if we have what it takes. We like challenges. We like projects. We like to see what we can do with our hands. What we can if we can consider ourselves men. If we have what it takes to be a man. So this is definitely, there's a challenging aspect to this, no doubt. And there's a failure component in it as well. Because if anyone does this, all of the practices perfectly, man, you're a perfect man. And to not get caught up in just doing the actions. Because this program isn't just about giving up good things. It's so much more than that. And that's why the prayer is an essential component to it. It's not just giving up a bunch of things. No, we want to fill that empty space with God, with prayer. So I invite anyone that's considering Exodus 90 to do so. It was a beautiful journey for me. It's not for everyone at every point in their life. And I mean that because there's some times that maybe you're curious about Exodus 90. You look at the things like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even start to do those things, especially not all at the same time. That's okay. It's not meant to be all at the same time. So to maybe, just do one of those things, and maybe just try to reach out to someone that you trust and maybe just start to talk about them, maybe about that one thing. Not do the actual Exodus 90, but then in time, if you feel like you've built up some self-discipline, you've built up, different practices, go for it. Go do the Exodus 90 program. Highly recommend. It can lead us into freedom, and especially when you lead it up to Easter, helps you to celebrate Easter in a better way. And it doesn't just stop there. We are meant to carry the freedom that we've used and to become a man for others. We're not just doing this just for ourselves. We're doing this for the people around us, the women in our lives, the other people that we lead, or that we help lead, or that we help foster their growth, that we're responsible for their spiritual growth and or just overall maturity and growth. So once again, I invite you, if you're interested to learn more, go to their website, exodus90.com, and just see if this could be something for you. But it was a beautiful experience for me, and I'll pray for all of you guys that are watching, and hopefully you guys get a chance to at least look into it and pray about it, whether God may be calling you to enter into that too. And then you can jump right in, start a group, get some guys together, and have some fun. But awesome. Have a great one. Bless.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josue Montoya. Jane has asked me to give a little testimony about my experience with Exodus 90. First off, I just want to say, what a gift. What an amazing, amazing gift. This is the day after Easter, so I am totally made it through. And looking back, it's just been incredible. The prayer, the disciplines, even the cold showers, the asceticism, and especially the fraternity. It was a challenge, but I'm telling you, the fruit that was gained was so worth it. The prayer was just holding me down, knowing that I spend that time with God rather than doing stuff to please myself, right? That was such a source. But I also want to emphasize the fraternity, because the other disciplines and the fasting and everything like that is so tough. But knowing that your brothers are alongside you doing the same thing, it encourages you so much. And that's such a huge part of Exodus 90 and Fiat 90 that cannot be overseen. Like when you're doing it together, as a group, as a team, it is so encouraging and it brings you so much closer together. And I'll admit it's a challenge to go over there and pray, to go and do the disciplines, to fast, to work out, to all these things, and especially to commit to your partner. It is such a challenge, but the fruit, I tell you, afterwards is so worth it. And I just want to say, like, in my experience, it just broke me free from these things that I really don't need. Like these things that honestly are selfish desires. You know, in moderation, like watching TV, Netflix, eating sweets and stuff like that is fine in moderation. But when you're able to hold back for a good amount of time, you're totally free to do what you want with your whole being, right? And you spend that time that you would for yourself and spend it with God praying. And then you get filled up with something so much more satisfying. And then the most important part is that once that happens, you see that I don't need these things, these selfish pleasures, right? And then you're able to go ahead and love other people. You're able to use your time instead of for yourself and your own desires to go to share that love with others. And that for me has been the biggest fruit of Exodus, that I'm able to share love with others and honestly experience a true peace and joy that you can't if you're just holding on to those other things. So that's been my experience. Hope it helps you. God bless. Peace.
Hi, my name is John Yomini. I've been asked to share my testimony about doing Exodus by Jane. Really grateful to her for putting this video together, so thank you to Jane. Huge great, and everybody pray for Jane for really encouraging us to do this and putting this all together. So I've been asked to share my testimony, as I said, about doing Exodus. I did Exodus for 40 days or 46 days instead of the 90 days that some of the other brothers did to that. So credit to them for doing that. I will definitely be doing this again next Lent. Highly encourage it. It's just a great mixture of fraternity and asceticism. And I don't know if any of you listen to the Friars of Renewal podcast, but as they were talking about going through the desert, they said the one comfort in the desert is brotherhood. And I think that's something that Exodus really points out to us. So to share some of my struggles, definitely struggled with being present in prayer. Just, being tempted by some of the asceticisms, not to fast as much, but definitely kept up with that. Pretty happy with myself for doing that part. Struggled with getting enough sleep and doing the exercise sometimes. So definitely hoping to get better at that in the future, but really looking forward to having the chance of doing it next year, and really glad I did that. So, sharing my struggles, I also wanted to share just what the Lord's revealed to me in this time and how I've really grown through this process. And so to share that, I think something that I've really overcome, kind of this veil of what I really knew about it, was fasting and discipline. I've fasted before. I always tried to uphold the teachings of the church and really just get back during Lent. But something I haven't really given myself wholly to. Same with discipline. I've tried to be disciplined before, but really tried a lot harder this time. And I think through seeing that and through having this kind of discipline program of Exodus, the app helped a lot to really grow in the faith and in letting things that distract me from Christ really go. So in this process, I think I've really grown in being able to give back to the Lord and really just rejoice in our suffering. And it's something that He's really revealed to me. And I hope if you're able to do the Exodus program, or I hope those who've done the Exodus program has kind of seen the same beautiful fruits of fasting and really turning to the Lord. Because if we fast without turning to the Lord, it's useless. But if we fast and then turn to the Lord, it really bears a lot of fruit. So I wish those luck who do it, and I highly recommend doing at least something during Lent that's similar to Exodus. That being said, the advice that I would give to those who are thinking about doing Exodus or who are about to do Exodus would first to be very honest with yourselves, whether you can or cannot do it, whether you think you could possibly do it. If you think you could possibly do it, there's no hurt in trying. There's definitely a lot of fruit and grace that comes from this time of penance and discipline and brotherhood. To also find a good group of men to do it with, don't go through this journey alone. Definitely good to have people there for you, and really just to let the Lord work, right? Don't try to do it by your own strength, but trust in the Lord and give your weakness and your hunger and everything you experience and suffer during this time of Exodus or Lent really to the Lord. So that being said, make sure you have your saints with you. I personally am baptized after John the Baptist, confirmed after St. Francis. I love them both very dearly. Make sure to keep your patron saints close to you. As I wear my Pax et Bonum shirt, the saying of the Franciscan order, which means peace and goodness. So on that note, Pax et Bonum to you all, and I wish you a very blessed Easter.
Exodus was a really rewarding experience for me. The reason why I first started to get involved with it was because I noticed in my own personal life, my relationship with Jesus Christ and my faith in the Catholic Church was starting to dwindle. And I really wanted to regain that faith and rekindle that fire and that excitement for the faith that I used to have. I admit at first, Exodus was really overwhelming. The exercise, the prayers, trying to keep communication with my accountability partner, trying to talk to him. It seemed really overwhelming at first, and it was hard to fit into my schedule. But after a while, you start to just break into it, you get used to it, and it becomes an extremely rewarding experience. I noticed that another reason why I got involved with Exodus was because in our current society, I feel like it's really hard for men to embrace their masculinity, to have a place where they can really feel like men. It's natural for men to want to work hard and to struggle, and we don't see as many opportunities for that in the world that we live in today. The discipline required from Exodus, the exercise, the prayer, the routines, even the cold showers, it makes you work hard. It makes you feel like a man again, and that was something that I really appreciated. But the best part of Exodus, all of that aside, I think, was the community that I had. I had the opportunity to talk to my brothers in Exodus, people who are good people, good, authentic Catholics, who have the same interests that I did in growing my faith. And that was something that was really important to me. Also, the fellowship that I had with my sisters in Christ, the women who are participating in Fiat, not Exodus. I was able to talk to them, and we were able to share our experiences and learn and grow from each other with that. So I can't recommend Exodus enough. It is a great program. I think even if you're on the fence about it, just give it a try. You have nothing to lose.